The heated eye mask from TearRestore is considered a premium warm compress that you can do at home for your MGD and dry eye treatments. Now I've had this for about a year now, so this is my full video review. Plus I'll show you how I tried to get similar results from a generic eye mask I got from Amazon, so make sure you stay towards the end of the video for the results on that one. Let's focus in. Hey, howdy, this is Dr. Neil Gaiman, Dr. Eye Guy, with a channel that keeps your eyes healthy and your vision clear. Now let's go over what makes the TearRestore Warm Compress so special. I'll go over the pros and cons, prices, and also if I recommend you investing your money into a premium warm compress like this. Now an eyelid warm compress is considered one of the staples, or one of the main at-home treatments you can do for your MGD and dry eyes. Now there are a few stipulations to that, making sure that the warm compress is actually effective. You want to make sure the warm compresses can actually heat up your oil glands or your eyelids between 40 and 45 degrees Celsius. You also want to make sure the warm compress can retain that heat for at least 10 minutes. 15 minutes is preferred. You also want to be consistent with the warm compresses. You want to make it a routine, a dry eye routine. And this is where the TearRestore dry eye mask shines. Now the actual gel insert mask is made of a medical grade vinyl and a sodium acetate fluid that's activated by clicking this metal disc in there. And once you click that, it will cause a chemical reaction almost instantly. And you just place that gel mask inside, and there's little holders or clips near the cutout eye holes there, and it just holds there, and you can actually spread it around there, and then you're good to put it on. The mask is adjustable, has Velcro straps on there so you can make it tight or loose, and it's actually pretty comfortable to wear. Now when you're ready to actually activate or reactivate the gel inserts, you do need to boil them, and it will bring it back to its fluid state, so then you can use it again later. Now, quick question to you, leave the answer in the comments. Do you have a dry eye treatment routine? Are warm compresses included in your dry eye treatment routine? I'm kind of curious to hear how many people actually do warm compresses routinely. Now let me hit up the main pros that I see with the TearRestore warm compress. A big one being that it actually retains its temperature to that 15-minute mark. You don't need a microwave to heat it up, you don't need to plug it in to heat it up. And one of the more obvious pros, and probably the best part about the TearRestore warm compress, is that you can actually keep your eyes open while you're doing the warm compress. Now to be honest, when I got this mask about a year ago, I was definitely skeptical on how well or how effective the treatment could actually be, because the warm compress that I've normally used would sit right on the eyelids and actually provide that constant contact heat right onto the eyelids. Now the company at TearRestore have done studies to show that the radiation heat from this mask does still provide that therapeutic level of treatment to the eyelids, but I was still skeptical. But I can say, after having used this for about a year, it definitely helps. It definitely does provide that good therapeutic effective level of treatment to the eyelids. And this brings up another pro to this eye mask. Now, compared to other warm compresses, they're actually compressing right onto the eyelid and eyeball. And right after you're done, you might notice that your vision's a little bit blurry. You feel off a little bit because it's been compressing right on the eyeball. Now, this eye mask, TearRestore, doesn't do that. You can take it off, you won't have the compression on the eyeball, and so that might be an extra added benefit compared to other warm compresses. Now one additional pro I do want to mention regarding actually keeping your eyes open while you're doing the warm compress is that this allows you to blink while you're doing the warm compress. That blinking action, that blinking mechanism actually allows you to secrete the oil out of your oil glands. And so while you're doing the warm compress and blinking to help secrete that oil is a double benefit. And so this is another big pro to this type of design, this type of warm compress. Now just like with any product, there are a few cons that we do need to mention. Now one possible inconvenience to this type of warm compress is you do need to reset the eye mask by boiling it in water. Another thing to consider is this is a premium warm compress with a premium price point. So the cost on this warm compress is more than other warm compresses you might find. And I'll go over the prices here in a little bit. The other con is that these eye masks don't last forever. You'll start to notice that the warm compress doesn't retain its heat as long as it used to. They say that you'll get about 90 uses out of these, and so you will have to buy more and replace these as you continue to do the warm compress. Now let's go over the price points really quick, and make sure you check out the description below. I'll have a link to the TearRestore eye mask so you can check that out as well. Now the main price point is at $79.99. That comes with a carrying case, the hard shell mask, and 2 gel inserts. Now you do have the option to get more gel inserts or replacements for $39.99. That's 2 for $39.99. Now there is a bundle option if you're considering getting that reactivation kettle. Definitely look at this one. It's $129.99. You get that reactivation kettle, you get an extra gel insert. You also get a box of the Hyla Wipe eyelid wipes, eyelid cleansers, which are actually amazing. They're actually one of my favorite eyelid wipes. I actually did a video about that if you want to check that out. But yeah, definitely look at this bundle. Amazing value and probably the best bang for your buck right there. Now, as promised, I did a little experiment to see how this compared to the TearRestore eye mask. This is a generic one that has the eye hole cutouts as well. It's $5 off of Amazon. I tried to see how it compared. Now, yeah, it did not do well. Now, first off, I did heat this up in the microwave, and it does get to that optimal temperature range. The downside, though, is after about 3 minutes, it drops below the 40 degrees Celsius mark. At 6 minutes is about 33 degrees. So the temperature really drops off really fast. And so there's no way you're going to get to that 10-minute mark, let alone 15 minutes if you really wanted the best effective treatment. So I even took it a step further. I even shoved the mask behind the hard shell of the TearRestore mask to see if maybe it'd retain its heat a little bit better. Or maybe, hey, you could use these as the replacement to the gel inserts. But no, it did not work at all. Actually, still lost its temperature at the 3-minute mark, became ineffective. So if you're kind of curious to see if these would be effective, they're not. Even at the $5 mark, it's a waste of money. So if you're looking at an effective therapeutic warm compress that has the eye cutout holes there, that's actually going to work, TearRestore is the way to go. So here's my ultimate recommendation. If you're in the market for a warm compress that can be effective, therapeutic, you're looking to add it into your dry eye routine, and also want to have the ability to do things while you're doing the warm compress, whether it's working on the computer or looking at your phone, TearRestore is going to be the best way to go, and I recommend investing your money into a premium warm compress like this. Now, if you're doing warm compresses or looking to start warm compresses, you need to make sure that you're doing warm compresses and eyelid massages safely and effectively. So make sure you check out my playlist showing you exactly how to do that. I'm Dr. Neil Gaiman, Dr. Eye Guy. Stay focused.